Hi, and welcome back, freedom fighters, to Essential Talks, where you stay for the conversation and you leave empowered. I'm your host, Jamie Russo, and my two lovely hosts, Kimberly and Jessica. So today's feed is we're talking about how to get your business open with WeAreAllEssential. We're doing a launch, getting the fitness industry back on their feet, getting them support, showing them how to do it. We're going to have some gym owners on here today. And they're going to tell us a little bit about their story. So I'm going to get, as each business owner kind of hops on, I'm going to get them to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about themselves, their business name, where they're located. And then I'm going to ask a question, knowing what you know now, the present, what would you tell your past self when you were just ready to step over that line and open up and push back? So we have Zach right now. So go ahead, Zach, give an introduction of yourself, where your business is at, and answer that question.
Introduction of myself. I'm Zach. I own a Foot Above Fitness out in Orleans and Ottawa in Ontario. I have owned that place for a little over 3 years. It was June of 2018. I had some background in fitness before that and decided to get off on my own. In terms of all the craziness that's been going on, I have kept my business open since about the end of April, middle of May of 2020. I've had tickets, I've had fines, I've had closure orders, I've had news articles, good and bad, and I've done clips, and I've been here and there and all over the place. And I'm still open. I'm still open right now. I'm still doing my thing right now. I have had the most encouraging thing I've been telling people lately is I've had more people reach out to me this lockdown than last lockdown. And so, sure, things are moving in the right direction. I'm just looking forward to see some more of that.
That's great. So, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your past self that was ready to open? What is it that you would tell yourself back then that you know now?
That I know now, I probably would have just told myself to do it like a month sooner, and to not spend like the entirety of March like drinking every day. That's probably my one big regret over the last bit of it.
Bad habit.
I don't know that like the rest of it would have been like, well, have confidence in yourself and go ahead and open up and like you should do it and blah blah blah. But like, I don't know. I was kind of telling myself all that to begin with, but like to go back and tell myself again, do it sooner.
Yeah, Zach, you may have kind of touched on this, but what was your like breaking point of enough is enough? I'm realizing that the government doesn't have our best interests at heart, and this doesn't align with anything health and fitness related.
Well, I knew the government didn't really align much with health and fitness to begin with, but like my aha moment was when we shut down March. It was March 16th of 2020 was like my last day that the gym was open, and like, oh my God, there's a virus going around. I better like close everything. And I was genuinely scared. Like, I'm pretty sure mankind is due for some sort of mass extinction. And I was like, this is it. And so I stayed at home, and it was really depressing because I was like, well, fuck, all this time that I worked like to get myself to this point, and I did the jump, and woo, I'm here. And now it's all up in smoke just because there's this virus going around. I didn't realize the virus was the government, not really a virus. And so I'm a type A type of person. Like, I read. If I'm bored, like, I fill my time with studies and research articles and all that stuff. I went to Carleton for mechanical engineering. So like I speak science pretty well. And so when everything shut down, that first week or so was like, well, fuck, I guess we'll just wait it out. I guess I'll have a joint and have a drink and relax a little. And then that week turned into 2 weeks, and then that kept going. And kind of in between the depressive episodes was me sitting at the computer and like looking into this thing. I was like, okay, well, if this is the enemy, like, how bad is this? Like, am I going to catch this? Am I going to die from this thing? What the hell? And so as I started to look into the numbers, and that's what it was that they started to publish a lot of the statistics about here's how many people are sick, and here's how many caught it, and here's what's the spread like through the rest of the world, and like here's the beginning onsets of some of that. And I started comparing it to like 1918 and a lot of the pandemic that happened then. Even that didn't make sense. and I knew some of the statistics about like obesity. And so like I looked into that too. I'm like, well, if this is a pandemic, then isn't obesity a pandemic? And like, why didn't we shut down the world for that? But now we're shutting this down now. And there just weren't enough people dying for me to make it feel like I should be closed, because I knew my own mental health depended on the gym so much. And so ultimately, I ended up sneaking back into the gym before I was letting other people sneak into the gym because I needed it for me. But my aha moment would have been like end of April, just kind of poring over the data and just realizing like this is not heart disease, this is not cancer, this is not obesity, this is not suicide, this is not like accidents even. It's not even like medical malpractice. It's just not that. So yeah, end of April or so, the numbers made sense or made no sense.
Yeah.
So we got a few people in the back. I'm gonna get them in, and I'm gonna start getting them introducing themselves, where they're from, and that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna start letting. We got Jada, we got Colin, and we got Anthony. So I'm asking the question. So all of you that's new joining us, to give a little intro of yourself, who you are, what your business name is, where you're located. And then the question that we're going to start out with is, knowing what you know now, what would you have told yourself right at the beginning when you're about to cross the line and open up? So
we're in January, February, we're probably.
Let's go with
you know what, I think maybe we could throw them on mute for now, just because they clearly got their gyms going in the background there. We can hear the clinking and clacking, so we'll just do that
I'm going to mute a couple of people. I'll get why don't you step up to the plate first, Colin?
All right, how's it going, guys? So my name's Colin. I go by Mitch. I'm the owner of Futuristic Fitness here. So just a small gym owner in actually Arthur, Ontario. So I think I was one of kind of the originals that stayed open back in 2020, and then still open today. Kind of, got a gym packed full of people right here now. So it's been interesting being in a small community. Staying open, I've seen a big change in I guess, one of the nicest things to outline is that, each lockdown, I think I get more and more popular, and, people kind of come out of the woodwork more and more every lockdown. I've been taken a pretty proactive and strong approach as well. I've been very active with notices of liability regarding trespassing. I've issued, government representatives in my area, all kinds of legal documents. Many of them are stepping down actually and not running in the next campaign. So quite interesting. That's going to open up a void here in 2022 when we do see the elections come around. So it's been a pretty crazy journey over the last 2 years, but my approach has been very aggressive, very proactive, and it's been very successful to the point where I'm still open today. And I see a lot of people now actually really taking a back seat. Police and individuals don't even challenge me anymore. They did originally, so I do have a lot going on within the courts, because originally it was we were meeting each other head to head out in the parking lot quite often. So I've got a few different summons. I actually have a pre-trial, which maybe my last appearance in the court is this Friday, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's another continued pre-trial. They just want to make an agreement with me and have everything kind of brushed under the carpet anyways. So they're just... Last time I was in there, they just wanted to make a deal with me. They presented a few deals, but I refused most of them. Well, I refused all of them. And I can kind of go into some of the things that they had offered me. They had offered to throw all of my summons out, which was a total of $500,000 or 5 years in jail. They had told me they would throw everything out for $2,000 if I just paid them $2,000. The way I'm presenting myself it's all based on harm and contract law and commercial law. So the way I approached that was that would be causing me more harm. $2,000 already would put more strain on my business. I've already experienced a lot of strain and hardship over the last 2 years. the government has done me harm. I haven't done harm on anyone else. Therefore, I will not accept your bargain for $2,000 for me to pay you an additional $2,000. So the government in the wrong, not me. So they said, okay, let's make another deal then. We'll remove everything and we'll essentially wipe the slate clean if you continue to follow the rules moving forward. Well, that told me that obviously they have some rules moving down the line here, and we're nowhere near the finish line if they're willing to throw everything out the window. 2 years of me not following the rules, and they're willing to throw all that out if I continue following the rules. So I said no to that as well. They had made a third agreement with me, which I think was the most interesting. They told me that they would make it lucrative for me to actually collaborate with them and actually putting together a charter challenge together, and they would help me. And, they had said they had looked at my paperwork already and knew I would be, able to bring forward my own constitutional challenge, and they would actually help me. And at the end of it all, they would make it lucrative. I don't want to go too deep into why I think they made that deal with me, but I also, part of my argument is challenging the courts that, we don't have a constitution. A lot of people would think that's a red flag, but it's actually good because our legislation prior to our constitution is actually stronger. So that's why you want to stay away from admitting that Canada has a constitution, because our technical constitution and what they're considering our constitution has a number of loopholes within it. I'm also big on more or less the commercial and criminal aspects, like more or less trying to hold personal liability instead of moving through the courts trying to issue lawsuits. I think we're going to see more success, and we're going to see them kind of run with their tails between their legs when you learn how to hold people personally liable for putting these bylaws forward and enforcing these bylaws. You can either go through the court system and issue lawsuits, or you can actually challenge these people person to person, individual to individual, through notices of liability and different things like that. So that's kind of the route that I'm taking. It's almost very similar to somewhat of what Jamie's kind of doing. Like it's along the same lines, but it's a little bit more still working within the company and the corporation. So it's out of the box.
I don't mean to cut you off there, Colin. So that's we're gonna get. I can ask Jada to also just introduce herself quick as well too. It's just so everyone kind of knows who everyone's background here for being in the chat. So Jada, we're gonna throw you on here.
Okay.
Hey, Jada.
Just walking back into my gym 1 second.
Hey, yeah, no problem. Yeah, so we're just looking for just a quick intro, your business name, where you're located, and then our icebreaker question here. What would you tell your present self? What would your present self tell your past self when they were about to take the stand? So when you were about to open again, back when you had, what advice would you give yourself back then?
She could say. Sorry, guys.
No, that's okay.
Okay, so I'm Jada Curry. I own a gym in Oshawa. It was at one time it was called One Stop Training. As I stayed open, I expanded. I think I was one of the first in the 50 people that were under WeAreAllEssential. I took a stand right after Skelly took his stand. Adam, I gave him a call, and he hooked me up with WeAreAllEssential. I'm located in Oshawa. I have a fitness club, and I have a boxing club as well now. So yeah, we don't discriminate. I've received the vaccine fine. I told them to go fuck themselves with it. They've also been in prior to that. I'm a female. I'm the only one that holds the keys in this place. And they were also in trying to say that I had to have like a COVID plan, and I had to have people had to have masks with a certain distance. And I told them to shove that up their ass as well. And I still don't have a COVID plan. None of my clients wear masks. If they want to, they can. And we do not discriminate. And I said that in front of the two bylaw officers. One was black, one was white. I asked her, how would you feel if I put only whites allowed? She said, I wouldn't like that. I said, segregation, no matter how you look at it. So
Amen.
I do have that actually on my profile, the whole video, if you guys would want to watch it. It's actually it's not funny, but the guy was more intimidated by me than I was of them. And he actually left in tears because he didn't, the history behind it and all this stuff and how we're repeating history right now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What would I tell my old self? To have never shut down the first lockdown. Right? To not have bought into this media and the bullshit that was going on in New York, how they were really gaslighting it, right? So obviously anybody that's going to look at that's going to get scared, right? But knowing what I know, coming from a fitness and health background, and I didn't do it at a weekend certification, nothing against them, but I took the long road and did it in college. And then I wanted to learn more about the body and anatomy and whatnot. So then I went to massage therapy school for 3 years, and I graduated from that as well. So like things just weren't adding up to me. Wasn't making sense. I was very confused at that time. And then, like I said, when I seen Adam Skelly on the TV and whatnot, I called him and I asked him, what can I do? What can I do? And he says, open your fucking doors. What's wrong with you? So I opened my doors that day. I opened my doors. I had global news out here. I mean, yeah, tons of news. At first it was like they were here, and then they don't want to hear it now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Funny how that works, eh? Well, okay.
Yeah.
Then, so Colin, then back to you. So when did you know that the government intentions were not good? So these mandates clearly are not in line with health, well-being, anything like that. But what was your, if you had one, what was your moment of awakening? You can go into detail about that.
Oh gosh. See, I've been a little bit more in tune with things that have been going on for probably 10 plus years. It was very early on in the middle of all of this because I had already been very big into studying other countries and doing a lot of really deep research. Just like I have family ties within Freemasonry and stuff like that. I don't want to freak anyone out, but I've been very in tune with global agenda for 10 plus years. And I've been, I guess, your traditional conspiracy theorist, but really, really, really deep into those rabbit holes. So right away, as soon as this rolled out, I had already knew that there was a union that had been formed and a global actually agenda put in place to gridlock, the globe essentially. And so I started actually researching countries like Japan and Finland, some of the countries that I know that are a little bit more cultural, I'll say, and aren't as subject to globalist elite corporations. Like there's a few handful of countries out there that are really they still fall within the agenda, but they stick to themselves. So anything that would be against their general population, they wouldn't fall in line with it. So I actually did a deep dive into a lot of that research back in April, it was really early. So then I was actually in the middle of building my gym at that time. It was interesting because I had just signed the lease to start building my gym in 2020 of February, and it had delayed my building and stuff like that and getting equipment in here at the beginning. And I was telling people as buying equipment, I was kind of just laughing. I was like, if I was ready during the first lockdown, I'd be open right now because I already knew what they were rolling into place. So I'm a little bit of a unique, I guess, situation because I did already know what they were throwing into place before it even started being rolled out, right? So, what's up?
Is there a spot that's good for doing
1 second, guys.
So we'll actually maybe we'll put you on mute for a second there. Yeah, Kimberly, did you want to bring in Anthony here? We got him in the background.
Yeah, I don't think we have him on video, but I think he's willing to speak. Anthony, are you there? Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, my name is Anthony. I go by Anthony Forbes on social. I'm a gym owner. I own a gym in Orangeville and a gym in Shelburne. I do own other businesses too, but they're relevant for this situation. I apologize for no video. I am driving in the middle of a snowstorm back to Shelburne. I got my 2 kids in the back and visibility I got to focus a little bit. So But
No worries. We'll ask you some quick things, and then we'll let you get back to focusing on keeping you and your kids safe. So no worries.
Yeah,
Thanks
no
for coming
problem,
on,
no
by the
problem.
way.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And so so that was good. You kind of went through the intro, your business name, where you're located. So we've been asking our guests, what would you tell your past self as your present self when you're about to take a stand? Like, is there any advice that you would have basically told yourself back then, knowing now?
I act on instinct completely. There's nothing I would have changed. I mean, during the first lockdown, I think when this whole thing broke at first, we're all kind of concerned that it might be, a global event that might have been actually deadly for everyone. So, we closed down like everyone else did. But I had so many, as time went on, during the first lockdown, I had so many emails flooding in from members who suffer from mental health and a lot of other ailments that I didn't know about, pleading me to open up my gym to just let them release some of their stresses. So that kind of dawned on me and played on me for quite some time, even after we reopened the first time. And from that moment, I told myself if we went into a second lockdown, I wasn't closing, because there's no way I'm going to let other people suffer in this manner for something that clearly isn't a deadly global event, right?
Yeah, I think everyone here can admit that obesity is huge right now. Mental health is at an all-time high. So I know you guys, as not only fitness instructors and business owners, obviously know a lot about mental health as well, and we are in a severe crisis for that.
Yeah.
Personally and professionally, before we let you go, Anthony, because I want you to drive safe and be safe out there.
Yeah, no problem.
What would you say you'd like yourself and your business to stand for, and how would you like your legacy to be remembered as?
I think we stand for our community. I mean, it's in our slogan too as well. A healthier, stronger community. That's the slogan for Trainer Games Fitness, the gym. So that's exactly what I stand for: is a healthier, stronger community. I want everyone everywhere, not even just in the community, to understand that, like, health and fitness is important. Being very, very aware of what's going on in terms of like your laws and your rights within any country that you're in is extremely important. The only reason I was able to stay open was because I know the law and my wife knows the law, and we exercised that when any bylaw agents came to the door, to the point where they didn't even know the law as well as we did. So they pretty much just packed up their things and left. By the time they came the first time, my wife and I had a package ready for them to take back with all the laws in Canada and how many laws they are breaking by even showing up. So once that happened, they never showed up again. And currently we haven't even seen or heard from anybody at this stage either. So, I mean, it's very important to be knowledgeable. Yeah.
And how would you like to be remembered?
I'm not really big on accolades, to be honest. I think people will remember that, we stayed open and we stood by our community's side and we fought for their rights and for their ability to stay well and to stay healthy. So, I mean, that's good enough for me, knowing that I stayed open and I catered to my community. That's all that matters to me.
1000%. And I know you and Tara have dealt with a lot of adversity personally as well. So I respect and admire you guys a lot. And thank you so much for your time and being here. Drive safe.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. Have a great time. Look forward to seeing what you got next. So,
absolutely.
Excellent. Take care.
Take care, guys.
So we've kind of gone over what each of you guys have kind of dealt with, tickets, bylaw, police-wise, everything. So just out of curiosity, so with staying open, I mean, you guys are doing pretty good so far in terms of things, but if this were to continue, if they keep kicking this can down the road in the way that they are, how much longer can you realistically survive all this?
Let's bring.
So we'll
Zach.
start with Zach. We'll start with Zach first, and then we'll go Colin and Jada, if that's okay.
Yeah.
If they keep this up at the rate that they keep this up, I'm going to be doing better by next year than I was before COVID.
Nice.
I love it. Love it.
Nice.
I have had
Perfect
more
response.
people reach out to me in the last like 3 days than I did for the first lockdown. So like I had a woman call me from Quebec. She's like, I've had enough of this bullshit. How do I get to a gym? And so if they keep this going on, it'll only get better from here, I suppose.
Nice.
Okay. How about you, Colin? Oh, sorry. We'll just hit you off of mute there. There we go.
All right. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm in an interesting situation because I'm in a really small community. I've been saying it since the beginning that I really wish I was kind of in the big city because I could take advantage of the demographic. I will admit this lockdown has been better. Actually, my last few days in terms of turnout and stuff like that, it's been really good. So, but it's been up and down like a roller coaster for me, like you'd never believe. When I first took my stand in 2020, because it's like a community of 2,000 people, and I was one of the first gyms like staying open, my community wanted my head on a pike. And I don't think a lot of them will ever like really, feel necessarily okay with me. It'll take some time, even after all this is over. It's hard to reflect though in regards to, because really I've just been trying to get up and going throughout all of this, right? So I will say it's been up and down like a roller coaster, and it's hard for me to predict. I'll never throw in the towel because I invested so much time and money into this place that, I'll find a way to make ends meet. It's doing quite good now. So, I mean, hopefully I can take the kind of, use this momentum and keep moving forward. And I will regardless. But it's been a crazy 2 years trying to get up and going throughout all this. Being in a small community with like 2,000 people, you really rely on, the seniors, the stay-at-home moms, they kind of fill that void throughout your day, right? So, kind of what I pictured when I first opened this place was to have some classes throughout the day, some low impact for seniors, have some mom classes throughout the day, and then have some boot camp and strength training stuff throughout the evening, right? That's kind of how I pictured my facility when I first opened. And unfortunately, I'm missing like half that demographic. So it's been a challenging 2 years, not what I expected. But again, I'll keep pushing forward and I'll keep hanging on no matter what. And it gets better and better over time, right? So, at the beginning, and I had mentioned that earlier, at the beginning, it was like a ghost town. My gym did excellent when we first opened. I had, all kinds of people show up. And then the first lockdown is when it really hit me hard. It was like a ghost town in here during, some periods. And then, it gets better and better as we go on and as we push forward. So I think I'll be all right regardless. And honestly, the dumber this gets and the longer they push, the more support people like me, Zach, and everyone else who's stayed open, we get more and more support, right? Same with Jamie, I'm sure. So the longer they push, the better it's going to get here in the near future. And we have an opportunity here. I've got some other plans that I'm going to be unfolding here in the 2022 too. That you never know, right? We could be in a position to reshape our communities and reshape this country.
I'm going to cut you off, Mitch, for a sec. I just want to,
sure.
for the viewers, because I know a little bit of your background. So for everybody that's tuning in and going to be able to watch the video, when did you open your gym?
So my gym, like it opened, I signed the lease February 2020, and then I literally opened like August 2020. So I was trying to get up and moving and open throughout the first lockdown, but all my suppliers for gym equipment kind of fell off. A lot of them were from China. It made me kind of have to, do all kinds of sourcing changes and stuff like that. So, it was like right in the middle of all this. I didn't really expect it. Like February 2020, I signed the lease and started construction. So it really caught me off guard. But yeah, it's just been trying to actually develop through all this.
So you're
it's interesting. I mean, I don't think nothing happens for, everything happens for a reason. They kind of, you always hear that. And it's like, there's no way, I was so in tune kind of with all this global conspiracy, I guess you could say, global theories, really. I guess they're not technically conspiracies; they're theories. But so yeah, it's interesting that I'm so kind of in touch with all that, and then it's like I just randomly decide to open a gym, and then all this shit, I'm like, fuck off, right? So it's been interesting, but we'll make it through regardless. It's my number one priority, no matter what. Even if I have to work 10 hours throughout the day at another job, come here at night just to make ends meet, we'll make ends meet. But each and every, as we move forward, it gets better and better, and there's more and more support. And I think we're really turning a corner here. We really are. We get more and more support as we move forward. So that's the positive aspect of it all. And
that's awesome, Colin. Honestly, your positivity is fantastic, and I love your position on that, pushing through no matter what. Jada, I know you're just about to grab a bite to eat there. I was hoping that if I could catch you right before you do, so we'll throw you off of mute there. So how are things going for you? Like, how much longer will you are you doing well, or how has business been better through this I don't even know what lockdown we're at now.
We're still technically in the first one.
Ended.
Yeah, right.
First one never
can kick in here. Anyway, so sorry, Jada, continue.
For a little bit, it was a struggle, but in the last 48 hours, I've had over 20 registrations.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. People are sick of it.
Yep.
People
that's
are sick
amazing.
of it. There's jab, unjab, triple shot. They're sick of it. No matter what,
Yep.
we're all in the same position.
Now,
right? I don't tell them. I don't criticize them. Nothing like that. I said, well, at least, and for me, I just want to know, like, even if this does end up failing, which I can't see it doing, because I started with a gym. I didn't take any of the government's money. And now I also have a boxing club, a full boxing club with a gym in it that I always wanted. It's actually been my dream since my grandfather passed away. And he was a boxer as a child. It's always been a dream that I would have a gym with a boxing club. And now I have that. And like I said, in the last 48, 72 hours, it's been ridiculous. The amount of kids and adults that are in here, it's pretty wild. Considering the last one, everybody like pretty much still shunted me. I was a spreader, and how could I do that? And don't you care about other people? And I'm like, get your fucking head out of the TV, right? Why don't you go for a walk? How about you go for a walk? Right?
I love you so much. So awesome.
How do I see myself in 6 months? With another 20 clients, right? Because I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going to.
I love it. Oh, I love it. That's fantastic. I love all of your guys' energy. It's absolutely great. Well, I mean, especially now that they're coming out with these articles saying that like majority, if not almost all of the people that were, seriously ill or dying from COVID were obese. Like obesity was a massive contributing factor to that. And then they're going and closing gyms. And I think that now, especially too, with all the stress, the mental health issues, like you were saying, Kim, like it's at an all-time high right now. And so people have had enough. They realize where they need to be, and they need to be doing physical things and things for their own well-being. So I've even myself, like I'm in the beauty industry, and all of my clients as of late, they've all had enough. And I mean, I'm talking all sorts of people.
Same here. Nurses,
they're done.
Teachers,
they are done.
Teachers, like everybody are coming. Like they're like, we know that you don't discriminate. We've heard this, da 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 da. And I'm thinking, yeah, but I bet you when I first fucking opened on that second lockdown, you didn't like me very much, though, did you? Right? But I don't say that. There's nothing but compassion here. Yeah. Even when I got the fine, I offered the bylaw officer a job if he wanted it. Right? Like, I mean,
best response. Oh, that's great.
Love it.
So yeah, so that's fantastic to hear from you guys. It's really empowering to hear that, and I'm sure that there's lots of gyms that are thinking about opening right now that maybe are on the fence and we're nervous about how they would be received in their community about it. But I honestly, they got to be rest assured at this point now that with what everyone's saying right now, that it just open up. Like really, there ain't nothing holding you back now.
There's still so many that are so scared, afraid, or if they open up under the Disability Act, but they still try to enforce a vaccine passport on a vaccine that does not fucking work, right? If they're mostly the ones that have COVID right now, then I don't even understand why that thing's still around and how people can still try to implement that. It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
That's so true.
And the vaccine passport is also a strong health recommendation. So it's not a mandate or a regulation of any sort. They're just strongly recommending it. So you can't enforce a recommendation, but they're trying.
A lot of it's consciousness too, right? Like the shadow and the darkness had to get so bizarre and crazy and outrageous for people to maybe wake up a little bit. We're just going to go through all three of you again. If you can just kind of repeat where you're from. We're having a lot of questions on that. So where you are and what you do have to say to other business owners that have yet to open and take a stand. We'll start with Zach.
In Orleans, in Ottawa, in Ontario. I'm right off the highway too. If anybody's close enough to come take a drive, come find me. 1290 Trim Road, a foot above fitness. If I have any messages for other gym owners, it's been pretty lonely being one of the only few gyms that have been open for a long while, and I'm tired of feeling lonely. So if I could tell them all one message is that it's been time for a long time. If you train at a gym, if you've been working out, you know what it feels like to be outside of your comfort zone. You know what it takes to do something that you've never done. You know that you need to get outside your comfort zone for good things to happen. And so I'm going to do this as gently as I can. Put your fucking pants on and open your gym.
Thank you, Zach.
That easy. It's that
delicately
easy.
put. I love it. That's fantastic. Much appreciated. Colin, so again, we have a lot of people in the audience that are asking where your gyms are located. So if you don't mind, again, just advising the city that you're located in, and what would you say to other business owners, and particularly other gyms right now who are hesitant about remaining open or even opening, period?
Well, so first off, my gym is located in Arthur, Ontario. So it is Futuristic Fitness, the name, and then it's located about it's 30 minutes north of Guelph. So if you were to think of the Tri-Cities in that area, it's 30 minutes north. So not too far away from the main cities. I have a lot of people from Kitchener and Guelph that come out to my facility during the lockdowns. And to be honest, not really in the business of telling people what to do, I guess, at the end of the day. But I do, I think everyone has some decision to make. And it's interesting because, only thing I have to say is if your business is still closed, I hope the government's paying you a lot of money or you've made some deals behind the table because you could be open right now. You could be open. You could be serving your community. You could have your clients in taking care of their health. Your clients wouldn't be coming to my gym, right? They would be going to yours. So I just hope you've got something figured out on your end if you're not opening your gym. And I have helped quite a few people actually stay open, and I've guided some other people. I'm not on this Zoom tonight, but I've helped some other gym owners, and each and every lockdown, I have a few people that reach out to me, and I get it. Everyone's in a different situation, but I would definitely say another thing as well. Try to. I guess become confident in understanding the law, and I think the difference between a lot of us in how we've approached the situation and staying open. I find a lot of us have really had to take a deep dive into the law. So just be prepared for that. Be prepared to learn. But honestly, I do encourage anyone to stay open because it's really just as easy is learning kind of the laws that surround Canada and then moving forward. It's really not that difficult. If I can do it, anyone can do it. I think most of us are probably in a situation where we've just kind of learned things and figured it out. And the big first step was just to open our business, right? But again, I get everyone's in a different situation, and but yeah, I guess that's all I'd have to say. And it's been an interesting journey to say the least. But I can tell you right now, if I were to shut down throughout these lockdowns, I would be way further in debt than where I am now. So that's just my opinion. I mean, if you are closing down, I hope they're paying you some good money. So.
Thanks, Colin. That's an excellent point, actually. I mean, we got into business to make money, right? So, it's why stay closed when money's on the table? And clearly people, yeah, got some love there, Zach. Clearly we got, people who want to come to the gym. You guys are busy, especially last couple of days. So the demand is absolutely out there. So why not supply to that demand? Jada, so where are you located again? And what would you tell business owners who are hesitant about opening?
First, to the businesses that are not open, grow a pair. So you haven't grown a pair now or yet, you're probably still sitting at home doing this. If you haven't really opened up yet, I truthfully have no faith in these other people that they're going to open up. So anyways, grow a pair.
You got away with words, Jada. You got away with words. Where are you? Where are you located again?
I'm in Oshawa, Ontario.
Oshawa. There we go. And so that's fantastic. I love what you got to say. That was fantastic.
Well, in every Zoom call I'm in, you know that. I've been saying it. If girls can have the balls to do it, then men should have the balls to do it. I know so many gym owners that are male and they're shut down because they're comfortable with the money that the government's giving them. They're comfortable, right? So they're okay with shutting down their gym, accepting all this money from, not even that it's that much money. But I'd rather be fucking broke than take a cent from the fucking Tradoofus. And I'd rather stay broke and keep my gym open than take 1 penny from that goof.
Love it. I didn't take any money either. I mean, everyone's in a different position, so I'm not going to knock them if that's what you had to do to stay going. It is what it is. But the less money that we're taking from the government, the better at the end of the day. But you do what you got to do to survive, right?
I just quickly want to say, for those who are just popping on now, we also had Anthony and Tara from Trainer Games on earlier. They are located in Orangeville and Shelburne, just for anyone that's looking for gyms that are staying open and defying these odds. So just wanted to throw that out there before we move on.
I actually I had one of my clients, although we don't have them on right now, but she was telling me that there's a gym branch called F45, and I guess they're doing now they're not just open. It's you need a doctor's note just saying mental health wise, but still they had sent it out an email saying that no, they're staying open. So I don't know that's for sure. That was just what she had told me. So through the grapevine of people. Oh, sorry.
You have to have a vaccine pass to go in.
Really interesting. All right. Well, then.
Disability Act, but they're still doing the vaccine passport.
Well,
Okay.
I appreciate your guys' stance on the no discrimination, because everybody needs access to a gym and everything, and it's just that's a shame to see that kind of discrimination happening, especially in today's world where we're trying to fight for equality and all that. So. So I guess the last question that we really do have was getting back to what we had asked Anthony in terms of how do you want your legacy to be remembered? Colin, not Colin. Sorry, Zach. We'll start with Zach here. How would you like your legacy to be remembered?
I hadn't even thought that far. I don't think that this is me trying to leave a legacy or anything like that, so much as I just want to be able to sleep with myself at night. It's not about, well, maybe not at this point, it's about what I'm going to leave behind, but it's a matter of like, can I close my eyes and feel comfortable with what I'm doing? So if I leave behind any legacy, it would be to, I don't know, stand for what you believe in. And if you know that it's wrong and say that it's wrong, that you should act like it's wrong rather than anything other than that. So I don't know. My legacy is to, I don't know, take care of yourself and don't take bullshit.
True words to live by.
How about you, Colin?
So, I think it's very similar to Zach's, right? I think at this point, the people that are open, it's because we've been able to understand the corruption that surrounds all this. And most people just haven't, been able to figure it out. And that's kind of goes back to the statement I made before is, some people are making the decision to stay open, some people aren't. And a lot of people just can't see it, right? And it's going to become more and more obvious over time. There's been a lot going on with this world that my soul hasn't agreed with for quite some time. And that's why I said, I wouldn't be siding with this. And the more it moves on, I mean, the more corruption and the evil kind of, veers its head. And, I just want to, make sure that people remember that, it's people like me, Zach, Jamie, Jada, that, we had a heart from the beginning, right? We had a heart to know what was wrong and know what was right, and we stood up for what we believed in. And it's going to turn here, and we're going to be able to, everyone's going to see who was on the right side of this from the very beginning. So I guess that's that's kind of what I just want everyone to keep note of, right? Keep track of, right? So
how about you, Jada? Oh, we got you on mute. Sorry, give me 1 second. We'll unmute you here.
I got it.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
So I sent my son to Florida so that he can continue his dream while I disobeyed all these government stupidness because I didn't want him to be around in case mom went to jail or, whatever. So I sent him. I haven't seen him. Wasn't able to see him at Christmas because I refused to get him vaccinated. My legacy is that I want him to know that I fought my hardest to stay on the right side of history and to leave a better Canada for him. And that might never happen. He might be staying in Florida for the rest of his life. But at least I could say that I tried and I was on the right side.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you haven't seen him in a bit. I mean, Florida was definitely a good place to send him from what I can see.
Oh, he's loving it. He is loving it. It's just it's hard for each other because we're like best friends, and
yeah,
I had to do what was best for him because I seen his mental health go down like crazy. We're talking about like an A student drop down to a 20%. Wow. When they went online, right? Because no basketball, no carrot to dangle. Right? You don't have that, okay, well, if you don't do this and you don't have basketball type of thing. Now, sent him down there. Now he's back up to a 3.8. He has like 10 D1 offers, like 30 D2, D3s, and he's back on his course, right? But it is tough. It's tough for both of us because he misses me, I miss him, right? Obviously, that's my only child, and he doesn't have his dad. He only has me, so... The coach is really cool. She's like acting mother, but she also doesn't believe in the vaccine and all that and all the other bullshit the government's doing right now. And so it's been tough. That's probably been the hardest part of this journey, call it a journey. This hell we've been living in. That's probably been the hardest part, is only being able to see him like I'm seeing you guys. That's been the hardest for me.
That would be tough.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? I just know he's in a better place, and I know that they can't get at him. I know they can't do shit to him because the DeSantis a G. And, so he's safe. That's all that matters. Like, I know I did my best to be his mom and to do what I needed to do. He's 17. There's going to come a time when he leaves the nest, right? So he just left a little earlier than I wanted him to, but he's doing great. It's just tough, right? Like, he wanted to come home for Christmas, and I was like, absolutely not. If you come home for Christmas, you're not going to get back across the border without a vaccine. which
Yes.
is absolutely ridiculous, but that's just the way that Canada has it. So unfortunately, this year we didn't get to spend that time together. So it's tough,
Well,
it's tough, but
Yeah.
you know, you
It-
just know that you're fighting for what you believe in, and you keep fighting for that belief.
And you're living proof and the epitome of a parent just doing the best thing for their child, regardless how they feel. And I know you've touched so many of our members of We Are All Essential. So thank you for that. Everyone that's commented is deeply touched by your story too, Jada. So we're going to invite people to ask questions. We're going to kind of leave it open before we finish this off. And just type in your questions if you're viewing this now, and these guys can try and answer. There's one right there. Do any of you know any in Edmonton open not needing the V Pass?
Yeah, that looks like
Big person,
even we got
no.
him on mute. It looks like everyone's kind of saying no, but what we can do is we'll look around. We'll see if that's something that we can add into maybe a later podcast or something like that to see if we're able to find anybody. Most of the gyms that we have right now we're all in Ontario, and so we also have the directory on our website as well. So if you go to WeAreAllEssential.ca and go to the which section of it is it again? It's been a little bit since I had to go
The
there.
mentor or Vlad would be able to help them with that because they're West Coast, so they would know if there's a gym in Edmonton. If anybody asked Vlad would know.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, but it is in the directory website for our website. So if you look up there for gyms and look in that particular in that province, if there is anything, they'll be there. If not, send us an email. We can always ask our members who are on that side of Canada and see what they have to say. I know there's a couple in BC, but I'm not too sure about Alberta. So we'll look into that on the website, and if not, then just send us a message, and then we can check in and see if we can find somebody for you.
I think it's in the we will stay open kind of
There you go.
lockdown little arrow, and you can kind of go by sector or city, obviously in your province, and that's kind of easier to find too. But yeah, reaching out to Vlad is a great idea as well, but it's definitely on our website. There's lots of businesses there that aren't in many sectors. There's so many of us businesses that are not tolerating this and taking a stand that aren't just in fitness. So you can search up any of us on there. Is there any other questions?
I think that was it for now, just for what I think what our producers has in the background there, which again, a great question. As you can see, there's many people across Canada that are just looking for non-discriminatory mental health rejuvenation at this point, and just want to be free people and go about their lives like we had been. So again, kudos to you guys for staying open and for having taken a stand. It's been fantastic having you on, and I can't imagine how encouraging it is to other businesses, not just to see businesses that are open, but to see that they're thriving, that you guys are doing great, especially in the past couple of days, past week here, and that people are absolutely done, and that the feedback that you've gotten from your members is how encouraging it is to see a gym that's open, how good it is for their health, and how thankful they are that you are taking that stand for them and being that voice and being that place where they can go to for solace. So again, absolutely, I thank you guys so much for coming on and for being strong like that throughout all of this. This has been fantastic. So
the other thing I'd like to say is we mentioned it before. Any business owner out there, you can go to WeAreAllEssential.ca. You can register your business. You can go public. You can keep it private. There's a couple of learning ways you can go through legal or through common law. Get yourself educated. When you're ready to take a stand, you can reach out to any one of us. We're all willing to help you. So you have mentors. We have Zoom calls. We have a Telegram chat. So you're not left on your own. Pretty much a majority of us within this network can help you or guide you and get you to take that stand. In behind me, I have Get Up, Stand Up. stand up for your rights, Mr. Marley. So this is what this is all about. The next few months, we're doing a huge initiative. We're doing a big push. We're working with a lot of the fitness. Any business is ready to open, restaurants, any fitness facilities out there that have taken a stand and we don't know about you, get a hold of us. We'll get you on this. We're going to be doing a lot of interviews over the next few months. So definitely we want to get some gym owners on board with us and explain your stories, give you a chance, a platform. Encourage other businesses to open. Again, restaurants, we're looking for you guys to open up. You guys will make a huge impact along with all the gyms. How many gyms are out there? How many restaurants are out there? And then the rest of us businesses can get back to business. So that's what this is all about, getting back to business. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And anybody that's watching this episode, again, any business is taking a stand, especially gyms right now we're looking for, get a hold of us. We'll get you on here. We'll do some interviews. And thank you, everybody, for coming on, telling your story. We're going to try and do more in-depth interviews with each one of you later on throughout the week. So we look forward to that, Zach, Mitch, and Jada. We look forward to talking to you and getting some really deep-rooted parts of your story and getting this out to the public and helping those stand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that, Jamie. I have a group of gym owners that actually reached out to me, and I'll probably start like an email list. If I've got a few things to organize just this week for like court and stuff like that, but if there are some like business owners that just want to get an idea of like kind of what strategies and what type of paperwork to prepare and stuff like that, I can always help in that regard. And there's a few in this chat that have seen some of the paperwork I prepared in the past. It's pretty in depth. It's pretty aggressive. It's got teeth. So my strategy is very much the same across the board, and it will help kind of push them back in their seat, and you'll take a more superior stance, and you'll have a lot of luck staying open, probably a lot less pushback from the government. I think everyone I've really helped stay open, they really haven't, they're operating with almost no flack whatsoever. Like it's just, they're just doing their thing. So if anyone that needs help, just let us know, let Jamie know, let me know, and you can definitely take advantage of some stuff that I've put together. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mitch.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about.
2019, and I don't put no fucking papers up, no fucking. I ran it before, and this is how I'm gonna fucking run it now. You don't like it? There's the door. Don't let it hit you in the ass. You know what? Actually, a fob system, so I only let in who I want to let in now.
Nice.
I'll
nice.
That's awesome.
Outside my door, I will not let them in. I'll just wave. Right? But I used to have to pay all that shit too. I'm not putting anything up with it. They can kiss my royal ass.
All right, that's awesome. We'll let Jada have the last word there. Thanks so much, Jada. That was fantastic. I love you fucking it with that. That was perfect.
We'll see everybody later.
Like your sailor mouth too. Well, have a good night, everybody. Thanks so much for coming on.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.